welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. We're doing it on Monday, April the 24th, 2023. Thank you for joining me once again, boys and girls, ladies and gents, wherever you're tuning in from. If it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. If you've been with me for some time, thank you for all the love and support, sending it right back at you. Where can you find these videos? Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on YouTube's for the full-length videos and notifications. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to fiscally support this show. Without further ado, it is Monday. It's the last week of the month. Oh man, May's around the corner, boys and girls, ladies and gents. Let's have some fun around here. Oh, you gorgeous bastards out there. Let me get a sip of this. Today's going to be nice and smooth and nice and easy, nice and loose as per usual. Man, oh man, ladies and gents. I mean, it's exciting times. It is, where do I even begin, man? I hope you're doing well first and foremost, wherever you're tuning from Canada, the United States, Mexico, South America, over to Africa, Europe, Asia, New Zealand, Australia, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Thailand, the Scandinavian countries, the Caribbean, wherever you are. And that's the thing, man. We're all on this little teeny tiny globe, this little sphere, this little orb just hovering in midair, and we're all travelers. We're all traveling, and that's what it is. Whether you do it personally, individually, or you do it generationally, or you do it, you do it individually, or you do it communally. You do it with peepsies, or you do it individually, and then you go find other peepsies, and then it's just like we do a lot of traveling around here, all of us together. We're no different than birds. We're no different than other species. There are invasive species like the lantern flies, I believe. From China. They do good in China, but once they get over to the US, so if you see a lantern fly or a fly lantern, which is not the same species, but it's like a pretty dope lantern. Like it's what it is that it's invasive in one space, and it's being a lantern fly, which is, I guess, suitable for another space. All that to say is that we're all travelers. We get to one point from another point, and that's where I am in life right now. This past week was interesting. I'm just going through, where am I right now? Where are we right now? Let's dig deep a little bit, and then we'll come back to the surface and move forward accordingly and see where it all goes. Man, oh man, I guess that's what it is. The time has come. It is now the time. Things are about to change very, that's life, baby. Change is right around the corner. Where's that change? It's right around the corner. And change is good, man. I'm talking about moving. I'm talking about packing up. I'm talking about flying. I'm talking about swimming. I'm talking about crawling. I'm talking about walking. I'm talking about riding vehicles. I'm talking about maybe ride bikes. I'm talking about trains, airplanes, automobiles. All great modes of transportation. Point is, we all use those to move around, and that's what's going to be happening, man. That's what it is. Been talking about it some time now, and it's been, if you've been with me again from the get-go, kind of sort of knowing you know in the back of your head, you knew in the back burner was an idea of moving about and, just going out there on the road and trying to, find a new whatever it is that, the aim is always to do comedy, get better at doing comedy and stand-up. That's the aim. And this podcast has been a great facilitator to, aid in that pursuit, where I get to come in here with you guys and gals once, twice, 3 times a week and just shoot the shit. We have ourselves a little chat here and there, and we learn and we grow, but that's what it is. That's been on the back burner. The back burner has now been moved to the front. It is now the front burner. We're turning up the heat. We're cranking it up. We're putting more gas. We're adding fuel to the fire. We're blowing smoke, and then we're shutting the lid to let the barbecue really heat up. I think that, and you want the average temperature of a barbecue to be anywhere between 425 to 555. I think. I don't know. I really don't know. But it feels like a good average temperature. 425 to 555 sounds about right. If you're wondering if it's ready to go, spit on your hand a little bit, stick it to the barbecue wall. If it sizzles, if your hand burns, that means it's working. It is ready for you to start cooking, and that's where we are right now. It's sizzling. It's hot, baby. So that's what it is. Past week was just kind of like I was a little bit in my, little bit going through the emotions and the thoughts, and that's what it is. All you got to do is just take a step back, and I took a step back. I took a couple of steps back, and I noticed the walls are fair. It's limited, so I quickly backed myself up against the wall. I'm like, all right, maybe take a couple of steps forward, and then I did, and then I ended up in the same spot, which was not too far out, not too far back in either, somewhere in between essentially. And that's when I realized, I'm like, ladies and gents, this is exciting. Let's embrace the change. Let us begin to think of the ways we're going to set sail. And there's a little bit of planning that goes into it, but at the end of the day, it's just the time frame. And that time frame for me, I believe we should be, if all goes well, and by that I mean if all if everything just goes, we're taking it day by day, but that's what it is. Departure date should be sometime, I'm thinking early July. That's what the goal is. So we are at the end of April, May, June, 2 months, 9 weeks. We're talking probably 9 to 10 weeks from this time right now that I'm talking to you guys right here, right now. So we are going to be moving. We're going to be traveling. Where to, you ask? To all the good places, to all the wonderful places. We'll see, man. I think we're going to be on the road for a little while. I don't know how long, but it's going to be an adventure. And that's what I said from the beginning, baby boys, baby girls, and how we're going to, it's a lot that I've been thinking about, because this is what we do around here. We come Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. I'm going to be hitting the road in about 9 to 10 weeks, which is gonna, and I'll let you guys in on the loop, and like, we'll stay in touch, obviously, and I'm gonna try my best to, even when I'm on the road, to maintain, obviously, doing the podcast. There might be a week or two where we're just adjusting time-wise for me to like travel, get to point A, B, C, D, whatever it may be, and so but that's down the line. But I did want to give everybody a heads up and kind of, I guess, myself verbalize, because I've been thinking about it, jotting down ideas, looking at this, looking at that, thinking about a different, things that I got to take care of, and it's coming down to it, and it's like, man, it's good to be traveling. I'm trying to get excited about. I am excited about it, but yes, there's always a little bit of the, oh man, change is what it is. Change is, and I like change. It's a nice change in terms of setting, because I've been here in this particular spot for quite some time now, the longest I've ever been in any space, really. So it's been both a blessing, and it's also given me an opportunity to do a lot of things that I probably needed to do in the meantime. But at a certain point, with every phase of your life, every chapter of your life, there must be a turning point. And this is, I guess, and that's what it is. That's all we're doing. We're just having a mini, or maybe not so mini. I don't know. It's just a turning point. I don't want to put a size on it. Let's not judge a turning point by the size of it. You know what I mean? Oh, it's a small turning point. You know what I mean? It's just like, ride the turning point, see how it feels before you knock the turning point. That's what it is. A lot of people are like, oh, I gotta have, at least 8 inches of turning point. It's like, do you? Is it all, So take it all in, is what I'm telling myself. And that's what I hope for you guys and gals out there, whatever you're doing, because I know summertime is a time of doing all sorts of different things, whether you're changing careers, maybe you're moving up in your career, maybe you're moving from point A to point B yourself, maybe you're taking a vacation, maybe you're taking a staycation, maybe you're taking a workation, which is that classic work vacation combination, which is something along the lines that we're just having fun doing it along the way together, is what this is. So yeah, man, I don't know where it's gonna take us. I have the aim is to just do comedy and get better at comedy now, whatever the path is, whichever way the road shall lead us. That is for us to discover together, and that's the whole exciting part. So yeah, last couple of weeks, I've just been, because the timeline is getting closer and closer, it's just, you can prep and you can do all you, but at the end of the day, that day's gonna come, and eventually we're gonna be so it's getting closer. And again, it's gonna be probably, we're looking at the beginning of July to make that departure, to hit the road and see where it leads. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So that's what's up with your boy. It's an emotional thing. It's a wonderful thing, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people, again, if you're going through, you're graduating, you're moving schools, you're friggin' moving jobs to another location. You've started a new branch. You started a new business. You're branching out. There's a new branch down in the whatevers in the other county, in the other state, in the other province. And now it's what it is that change is good. And yeah, man, and I'm excited. So that's where I've been trying to find that sweet balance or something close to it and just have fun along the way, baby. So thank you for being with me. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life and being part of my life as well out there. Whatever you're doing, make sure to enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the process is what I'm telling myself. Man, a lot of exciting events are unraveling outside in the outside world. And by the way, the lantern flies, they said, I read an article, it's an invasive species from China, and I heard if you're supposed to see them, you're supposed to kill them because they come around here in the Americas and they start going at the crops and shit. So, and that's crazy because it's a beautiful, if you look at it, lantern flies are actually pretty, it's got like, you know, red, black, polka dot stripes. It's a fuzzy little insect, but beautiful to look at. But then that's what it is. Thrives in one location, comes over, all of a sudden it's on your neck, it's on your eyeball, it's on your whatevs. It's just like, oh, laying 30 to 50 eggs at a time. Next thing you know, you got yourself a lantern fly infestation, and there goes all your hard work during fall, winter, getting yourself prepared for the spring, summer season when you wanted to farm heavy duty farming, and these stupid lantern flies, lantern flies. Lantern flies. They don't light up though, so I don't know. They don't even look like lanterns. It's just I guess that's somebody named it lantern flies. I don't know why, but that's the thing. I heard if you see them, you're supposed to kill them, which is crazy because, like, again, no, I don't think any species goes out there and be like, man, I want to be designated this thing, and I'm gonna just be doing my thing. I'm just gonna have these colors on my back. It's like you gotta assign certain gang colors at birth as a species, as an insect, as a creature, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh, I'm cool here in this particular spot. Next thing you know, somebody's taking a shipment of whatever. Let's see, friggin' tea and all sorts of, you know, stuff that gets built in China. Babies' shoes, diapers, chips, edible kind, and the ones that you use for cars and other stuff. So there's a big shipment, and then that's what it is. It just gets that there's a lantern fly that flies over into the old shipment container, and the next thing you know, it arrives to our ports. We're all like, oh, what a pretty cool little lantern fly, and then it's invasive. Next thing you know, the crops are gone, and oh man, there's no crying over spilled crops. So the point is, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know what the point is. We're just, you know, we're trying to get to it and just have fun along the way. Let me get a sip of this. Gosh. Because it's what it is that it's exciting times. There's so many different things happening. There should be different things, you know, as a matter of fact, there should be different things happening as well, because it is 2023. We are moving forward to 2024. There's going to be changes, and new ideas are needed to assist us in the future. A lot of times, because we're here, there's the future, let's bridge that gap somehow. And I've thought about many ways to bridge the gap between the different, and there's so many bridges that you could provide for existing gaps. I, for one, look at the most crucial gaps, the ones that are really concerning our society, the ones that are keeping everybody up at night and costing lives, really. Like, oh my goodness, ladies out there, are you on your back during the sex and having your tits just flop to the side or like roll down south a little bit, and you're like, oh, my tits don't look like the way they do when I'm standing up nice and straight, and when I'm having the sex on my back, it's like all the way to the sides over here and there. And that's cool. Some people like that. Some people support that. I'm a fan of that myself, but there is a concern. Sometimes you might hear people are like, oh, what do we do if our tits are falling to the side, or like, you know, one's like, you know, pointing a little bit further. It's just like you want it to look just as perky as it does once you're standing up, perhaps wearing a bra, while introducing the all new special duct tape for your tits during sex whilst you're on your back, because you don't want it to slide to the sides. What you do with these special duct tapes, I know they're not regular duct tapes, all right? Don't go out there thinking you can just duct tape your tits together and everything's gonna be fine. These duct tapes were produced with the most amount of research possible with the most. I mean, we spend so much money and time and energy because we travel throughout the entire globe, tested every tit with our special brand duct tape. Okay, and should you, and yeah, could anybody do this at home? Just go duct tape their tits together so they stay up like the way they do when they're on their 2 feet stand? Of course, whatever. You want the generic lame shit, or you want the actual like stuff that's like built for this shit? So that's what we do, man. I'm thinking we should, it's a new product that's going to be on the market, and it works in all tits and all tit sizes, small, medium, large, what A to Z, whichever size your tits are. These will ensure, because that's what you do once you strap one side with these special duct tapes. You bring it over, you fold it over, and then you bring in the other one, you fold it over, and then boom, right there. And then you can even do, we provide you with enough tape, special duct tape, to actually do 2-3 layers depending on, and you're like, but that takes away from the whole visual stimuli that is the tit. And to that we say, you can't have it all, Jack. You can't have it all, ladies and gents. You can't be like, oh, I want my tits to be both, in a standing upright position whilst on my back and still have them look like regular tits. I mean, like, there's got to be a little bit of leeway, a little bit of leniency, a little bit of use your imagination. God damn it, get yourself a pair of markers, draw a couple of fake nips on those bad boys. Right now they're only in gray color, and you're like, that sounds a lot like regular duct tape. You shut your trap hole for a second. These are special made duct tapes for bringing not just everything to just the most, it's for tits only. Okay, so later down the line, once there's enough money to allocate to different, we'll experiment with different color. We might come out with the skin tone color duct tapes. We might do that, and that's patented right here. Don't you go off elsewhere trying to build this thing. All right, state of the art, high tech shit. Okay, it's this, and we were working on this and finding new ways of propelling ourselves into the air without leaving any fumes and shit. So these two are like of equal value, and the same amount of attention and detail was dedicated to both projects. And you're like, how far along are we on the new propulsion system? It's coming along, all right? That we had our hands full, as you can see, but this one's a good one. You'll like this one. So that'll be on the market soon, hopefully for the new fall coming season. And get behind it, get in front of it. And it's not just, I know it's for ladies right now, but like, we're working also on a brand specially made for larger men, hefty men. Really, I'm talking like 350, 450 plus men that have accumulated those large, beautiful male tits. You know what I'm talking about? Those, non-lactating male tits. Those ones. You want those? Are you falling on your back and are doing the sex on your back and also having your tits because they're so large fall to the side? Friend, fear no more. Do not be ridiculed no more. Do not be made a fool of. Do not feel self-conscious, my friend. We are here for you. Sure, there's so many other things you could do, but this is the quick fix right here. This is the long-term fix. This is the way to go. There is no other way. This is the way to go. Okay, so that's what I've been thinking about. Let me get a sip of this bad boy, cause it's Monday. You ready to have some fun, man? Because it is Monday, man. You ready to have some fun, man? Let's have some fun. Okay. Let's have some fun. Sound like let's have some fun. If Tony Montana was French. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun, man. A French Tony Montana. We can work on that. That's something to think about. French Tony Montana. Put that on the back burner for now. In the meantime, obituary sounds like it should have been a month right after, February, January, February, obituary, March. Just saying. Point is, ladies and gents, that there's so many different things happening in and around the world right now. As a matter of fact, I've been reading articles. One article was talking about potentially the continent of Africa splitting it up somewhere, in two down the line. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if it happened, but then again, I saw another video. There was a little, this one's a little bit further away here on west coast near the Pacific Ocean, right around the, I guess, the west coast, coastal region of the United States and America. Deep down, the bottom of the ocean, they sent cameras down there apparently, and they found videos. They found something leaking from the bottom of the ocean. I'm like, whoa, what is that, dude? And it's crazy town, dude, because the bottom of the ocean, man's leaking, it's queefing. Mother Nature just opened up our legs from way down under and is queefing up a storm in our oceans in the Pacific. And what is it, you ask? I didn't even know. That's the thing, because that's what it's already wet down there. You think that once you're already that wet, you can't get more wet, but apparently you could have a leakage at the bottom of the ocean and you can get wetter. And because it's weird, because you think of the ocean as like this, imagine this large bowl, and like you don't think of the large bowl having, there's stuff behind the large bowl which is rock, like heavy duty rock and shit. But then because all the water's in the old bowl, aka the ocean, you don't think that there's stuff that but I don't even know what's happening. There are holes, is what I've seen and heard. There are holes at the bottom of the ocean, and they're oozing into the ocean, and it's causing tectonic plates to just kind of like start grinding upon each other. Yeah, we're grinding now, a little bit of that. Yeah, grindage at the old tectonic plates. What could this do, baby? What could all this grinding, all this plate tectonics do? Oh, nothing like a dancehall sesh with a little bit of grinding of the old plate tectonics, baby. Hells yeah, hells yeah. Things could be fine. A little bit of grinding goes a long way. A little bit of just like whatever. We're dancing. We're like, it's whatever. It's Mardi Gras. It's Carnival. It's what we all do here, is what they'll say. Give me the beads, all sorts of the beads. Anal beads, neck beads, multifaceted neck/anal beads, vaginal beads. The point is that the plate tectonics are grinding. What could happen? Nothing right now. It's like not like right at the moment, but down the, and that's the thing. This kind of stuff could be potentially like, and it's always happening, but with like more tech and more like us reaching into the nooks and crannies of everything ourselves, the space we live in, we find things that were probably happening all day, every day for hundreds of thousands of, if not millions of, if not billions, if not trillion, if not gajillions of years. Google years. That's in Google's a number. What's Googlean? It could have been existing for Googleans of years. How do you use Google as a word, as a number? Googleans. That means a lot. Googleans. For Googleans of years, there has been a hole at the bottom of the ocean queefing, and we're just walking about on this, the hard stuff, on the rock, and we're like, oh, we're the only ones that can queef. Guess what, fam? Mother Nature's, as a matter of fact, Mother Nature is queefing right here, where we're getting a rainstorm right here. But let's not get distracted. The point is that these plate tectonics, they're grinding. It's all dance hall and it's sweaty and we're vibing now. Oh, my place or your place. Let's merge places, is what the plate tectonics might say. Next thing you know, tsunami. Shit happens. Tsunami comes, or earthquakes. It may cause earthquakes. But then again, earthquakes always happen. And so do tsunamis. And these are not new things. It's just, again, you see it, and it's like, I don't know if it's better for us to know about, because like beforehand, you just like living your life, you're like, whatever. I don't even know what a tsunami is. And until you got hit with it for the first time, and until you got hit with it for the first time in recorded history. Because I'm sure we got hit with it beforehand as well, but nobody recorded, or nobody had recording equipment before cameras came around, and we forgot about it. It was just the painting you saw. Oh, that's a nice wave depicting its tsunami. Okay? Tsunami. Tsunami. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, be prepared, but also there's nothing, or maybe send some people to just fucking plug it, dude. Just send if we know there's holes, let's plug them holes. let's get in there with some concrete and block these holes, man. Let's get a couple of underwater, like fucking, let's do some underwater welding and concrete pouring, and let's fill those holes. Can we do that? Is that beneficial to fill the holes? Or if we fill it with, if you weld it or if we pour concrete into it, will it ooze out another side? It's just like we're blocking it here in the Pacific, comes out here in the Indian Ocean, pop right there. I don't know how it all works. It's all connected, they say. Like all of us, we're all connected, they say that. And it's just what it is. But it made me think, you know, of different things. If there's an earthquake and if there's a massive earthquake, let's say the northwest portion of Canada just like gets hit with an earthquake, and then we flip and dip and just fall over to the, let's say, northwest portion of Canada. Let's just say it just tumbles down off the map. It just tumbles down right to the northwest side of, I guess, the United States. What do we do then in case of whether it's Africa splitting in two, whether it's like giant tsunami slash earthquake, northwest portion of Canada tumbles over, ends up in the northwest portion of, we're like right on the west coast of the United States now. What do you do then? Do we maintain, like, do we like Canada, like, I'm not, what, you never know. How did we end up like this? You never know which way it's going to get split up or even brought in closer together. Who knows? But I'm just saying, at one point, if we have a major shift, if we're all just like sitting one day and then all of a sudden we're like, oh man, we're really shifting today. Do we, once we end up there, like, is that like, do we form new continents and new countries essentially? Like, do we become like one? Because like if it's just closer by, you can't just be like, well, it's like yeah, you were Siamese twins at one point, but now that you decided you're gonna do that fancy surgery and be your own individuals and have your own lives and personalities and make out on different occasions with different people, and that's what it is. It's like you wanted this, you got this. Not that we did, or not that we didn't even ask for this, man. But I'm just saying, as what would happen? Do we? Because like if we tip over, northwest portion tips over and just like stumbles over and falls right to the side of the west coast coastline down, as like, what do we do then? Do we, which puts into consideration the whole notion of nation states and countries and shit, which is fine to think about for a second, but then my whole concern is if you're gonna have if now that we know about this shit, at least like again, before you didn't know, it was just a surprise, you got caught off guard, you don't know how to utilize a good earthquake. Nowadays, if an earthquake is coming and you know there's gonna be like some like high magnitude fucking, like, you know, it's a lot of like, you know, 9, 10, whatever this one's a tough one, this one's gonna be a shaker. You prepare. If you like, let's say you live in a house with your loved ones, whether it's just one loved one, or maybe you're a brand new family, a 2-star now, or maybe you're already a family of however many you've already started, you've been fucking for years, you spilled the seed in our oven, right there, boom. It's baked, it's ready to be taken out, babies are there, 2, 3 of them. Anyway, you have a nice household, it's what you call a home. It's sweet. But over the years, you've accumulated a lot of stuff, and sometimes, you know, you got your stuff, there's her stuff, and then there's their stuff, and some people, you know, you have your things, you have your little knickknacks, everybody's got their thing, but sometimes you might want to have a thing, or you already have a thing in the house that you love, that your partner doesn't love as much as you. As a matter, it might be something that's actually like, maybe you are the only one that actually finds that thing like nice to have, whatever. It could be a painting, it could be a vase, it could be a ornament, it could be whatever it may be. It's a little thing that you got. It's your, you know, it's your all your ancestors' dead ashes in one ashtray, in one ash jar, all of them. So it's like a ash orgy of your ancestors. It's near and dear to your heart, but a little bit the fact that it's like an orgy of ashes creeps out your wife for some reason, whatever, you know. And that's what it is. So now you know, lady, if there's an earthquake coming, guess what? A lot of things are going to be falling off the wall, if you catch my drift. A lot of things are going to be misplaced, if you know what I'm talking about. A lot of things are going to fall to the ground and smash into smithereens, if you catch the drift, to catch what I'm talking about, lady. If it should fall during an earthquake, oh my goodness, oh my God, practice your oh my God, I can't believe this happened face and phrase. Oh my God, honey, are you gonna be okay? Maybe put a hand on their back. Nice hand on their back and just gently stroke all the way from the, just like how you firmly stroke a pet that is maybe a canine of sorts, maybe a pet dog, a nice, firm, gentle yet reassuring, just, oh, it's gonna be okay, sweetheart. The important thing is that we're okay. And it could be a painting, it could be, again, ancestors' ashes, it could be, you know, anything. Maybe your husband has a collection of ships and bottles, and you're like, those are just too many ships and bottles. And whoopsie daisy, you yank out the old blanket under the ships and the bottles off the table, which was firmly placed with like nice precautionary measures in place to ensure that the ships and the bottles remain intact due to unforeseen earthquakes. But you know, a nice swift yank kind of, and it's just like, oh my god, how did it happen? I thought I fastened those bad boys up and down, and we thought you did too, honey. Oh no, oh no, not your ships and bottles. But then again, you could be encouraging. You could just be encouraging and love them for who they are. But I'm just saying, if that happens to be it's like, oh man, I could really. This house is perfect the way it is, but if we could just get rid of that, like whatever it was, like it's just like anything really. So think about that. Utilize essentially, like, what other instances would an earthquake come in handy? Let's say, hey man, it could happen to anybody. Let's hypothetically for a second just take a stroll down hypothetical streets here. Let's say you got yourself in a little bit of a sitch, and you owe some money to some beautiful associates / loan sharks, friends, acquaintances, people that you know that know people. Who knows where things will go if one does not come up with the money in time. You know, you went and borrowed some, and you said you're good on it, and most of the time you are good on it, but man, that's what it is, man. All it takes is one bad move, and you can't, you got yourself some sort of a monkey on your back. It's a gambling monkey on your back. There's a monkey, and it's on your back, and it's like gnawing on your fucking, like, right there shoulders and stuff, and it's like, look at me, I'm the monkey on your back. Gambling is his name, and it's ruined your life. But here's the beauty of it now, fam. You hear an earthquake come in, there's a limited time to, let's say, earthquake / tsunami coming down your way. It's good. The city's going to be buried in water and debris, and everything's going to be wiped away, man. And there's going to be one bridge connecting your little town to the safe extraction point, let's say. Okay? They give you a certain amount of, and all you need to do, my dude, my lady, just catch yourself, put yourself in a car, put yourself in your belongings, your essentials in a car, drive up to your associate / loan shark friend, and just watch them a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit of a mission. You're gonna have to watch them for a little bit and watch them come out of their home, get into their car. All you gotta do is nonchalantly drive a couple of cars in front of them and essentially slow down traffic. Slowly, because there's gonna be, what do we say? There's only one bridge getting you from A to B. A being the most dangerous place on earth within the next 2 to 3 hours, and then B being like extraction point, safety, tents, maybe FEMA. Is it a good thing to have those things? All sorts of, water, a place to urinate, a place to go to drop a couple of deuces, safety essentially. And all you gotta do is make sure that this fella, you just gotta like tap the brakes a little bit, like too much. Just tap the brakes once you're on the bridge, and an earthquake is coming, and then the bridge is collapsing, and this guy's honking, and you're just, and you got like, sunglasses with a fake mustache on your face so that people don't recognize you. You gotta think about these things. And you just pump the brakes a little bit, and then the bridge starts collapsing, and this guy's just like, oh man, we gotta come on. And you're like, yeah, I'm pressing the gas, man. It's just not, I'm pressing the gas. And what do? You just slow it down in the last second. You rev the engine, you get off the bridge, his ass is in the water. Where's the debt? Nowhere, man. That doesn't even exist. Because the dude and his family, he had a lovely family, and it's tragic how things sometimes have to, it's what happened. It all started with a leak at the bottom of the ocean. And that's what it is. So think about it, of how to utilize things. And that's what it is, man. If it's earthquake time, if it's tsunami time, maybe you're like, man, I'm tired of catching regular waves, man. Cowabunga, dude. Let's go on the surfs up right here on the old tsunami. So utilize everything is what I'm trying to say, man. Utilize everything. It's just picking and choosing what you want to do in life. Do you want to, and it's decisions to each their own. Whatever you do, it's no different than picking, do I want the tightest asshole in the world? Or no, do I want the largest, most gaping of assholes out there, and which one of these do I? And at the end of the day, we all have them, so you got to just decide for yourself. Do I want to go for extremely tight, nothing gets in, nothing gets out? Or do I want to go gaping black hole of an asshole? Nobody knows what's on the other side. You want to turn yourself into one large hole, inside out, outside in. And there's pros and cons to all of them. Pros and cons to all of them. Tightest of assholes, if it's like the tightest of assholes, if there is, let's say we need somebody to, like, speaking of leakages, if we can find out how your asshole is so tight and take that same mechanism and kind of utilize it to build some sort of material that we could just put on top of any holes underneath the ocean, at the bottom of the ocean, on the ocean floor, if we could essentially make large artificial, and this is where we take from, they say everything already exists in nature, man. So we take the same mechanism of an asshole. It's like looking down a barrel, sort of, kind of, just like, and it's like a bunch of sixes in sequence, if that makes any sense. Just like, kind of like a lens. If we can just take that same and, like, you see a large hole at the bottom of the ocean, take this artificial meaty asshole that is tight ones for places where you need it to be airtight, and just right there, toss that fake artificial. Because with everything that we're printing these days, 3D printing, this, that, and let's go with large artificial assholes for places where we're not too sure about this leakage. Let's put a medium size, not so tight, not so loose, artificial large asshole at the bottom of the ocean, so we can, like, figure out what to do with this leakage, man. What is even in the leakage? What's leaking? It's the Earth is like, if it's already, man, the Earth is like, that's like pre-cum for Earth, I think. It's ready to come, but it's like, what is this? Not come, but it will be there once, in due time. Point is, which one would you rather be? Yeah, in case of, like, emergencies where you're like, man, I gotta friggin' just ingest a whole bunch of narcotics or paraphernalia that I was not supposed to have with me, and I needed to stay tight. You just, say and you toss them right there at the back of the old throat, swallow, and it's airtight in there. Nothing's gonna fall out because your asshole is the tightest, and it's how you get it out. Now that's a different story, my friend, but you ask for some tight, you ask for some that goes in and doesn't come out. And what's the usage? Right there, for things that need to be ingested and maybe hidden for 24, let's say 36 hours. Now, otherwise, if it's like a large gaping, the most gapy of assholes, a big, large, did you ever want to blow balloons, out of your asshole? Well, now you can. All you need to do is get a bucket, fill it with water, put a little bit of dishwasher detergent in there, and then just splash it on and around your gaping asshole, and then fart. And that's how you will easily accomplish getting large bubbles that are blowing out of your asshole, man. Ladies? You know what I'm talking about? Bubbles, fam. You can do it with your hand, but it's like, oh, that's amateur hour. Let's go in here with larger bubbles. And that's what you could be riding around town, having your name and face printed on all sorts of posters, on buses, on bus stops, on bus drivers, on passengers on the bus. A lot of times when it comes to advertising, people see the advertising on the buses, but what do they take away except maybe the subliminal messaging? I say we start printing on people. That's how you remember. You look at, you're like, oh man, this guy's real estate agency. I should give him a call when I need a house. You know what I'm talking about? Or just like whatever, divorce lawyer, yes please, or whatever. You know, cosmetic surgery, yes, I could use some lipo, or whatever. Point is, ladies and gents, is to have fun out there. I did see an interesting little, it made me, I don't know what to think of it. I'm just like, I saw a video, I saw a little headline, I saw a video of a lady. She's, I believe she's an influencer in Brazil, 22 years old, and she cut the bottom portion of her tongue so that she could be a better kisser. And at first I was like, man, I didn't know how to feel about it. At first I'm just like, man, why would people do this to themselves? And I'm like, oh, okay, you were 2021, right? And I remember doing steroids for a second. I'm like, I get it. You wanna, whatever. Everybody's got their things, and it just made. But that's a drastic one as well. Not to say that doing steroids isn't drastic. So no judgment from this guy, but I'm just saying. The only thing that I could say, that I'll say many of things, not just one thing, but if I may say a few things, when you're 22, when you're still in your early 20s, and this goes for both men and women's, just, a lot of people, it's different, people do different things, man, but just like, I don't know, man, this, like, if, it's just like, it looks painful for that person, and I don't know their reasons. It might be just like, people say stuff, they do stuff, I don't know her reasons, and I'm not against taking care of yourself, whatever it is you do, whether it's like, oh, you're exercising, you're dieting, you're working out, or you might go get a surgery here and there, or whatever I'm not in any shape or form ever judging. Is I would definitely, like, personally, I think a lot of it from like, you should always give yourself a little bit of extra time, is all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say, because it's like, it's fine, whatever you want to do, because I don't know if it might be just for pure looks, or like, it just helps me kiss better, which if it was just for kissing better, I say 22, you're still very early in the, relatively speaking, early in the just overall life experience game thing that we all do. Not sure if that, like, but then again, I don't know, like, if you have I don't know, if you got a large lump on your back, and you can remove the large lump on your back and be, happy and and just doing life, remove the large lump on your back if it's not gonna, risk your life. If you got a beak on your face, you got a large beak. I particularly like large beaks, crooked beaks on all people. I think it's just like whatever for the most part, as like, your own thing looks really good for most people. If like, once you start, and I'm not saying don't, if it's like, I get it, I've been there. I get what it means to be like, oh, I'm not, I could be doing this to maybe do this to make myself look a particular way, to either make myself feel better, or whether that's directly just through you feeling better through doing it, or others seeing it, and then you're like, oh, they like this version, and then you think that I'm just saying, being early in your 20s, you're going to be faced with many of things that are going to be like pushing you to do this, and it still exists for all of them. I'm not saying I'm over this by any stretch of the imagination. We all get pushed and pulled in every direction each and every day with different things. So I'm just saying, being in your 20s, just pace yourself a little bit with shit that, because I especially nowadays with like social media, and there's so much pressure for younger folks. I'm kind of glad that I took many a years off, to be honest, and I wasn't really involved in doing anything on the lines or like social media related. So I'm glad that I got that break, and like I have a somewhat of a sense of like what is important, what matters, sort of, kind of, still trying to figure it out. Not saying I have the answers for anything by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying, being 20, 21, 22, 23, all these, like, years that you're still, I honestly think in terms of like finding comfort in your body, whether you're a male or a female, yeah, it's gonna take everybody some time. I think there's been some sort of, I don't know where we picked it up, where there needs to be like, oh, you're by this age, you need to be like, just I think there's too much pressure from all sides. Just like leave people. I think everybody just like just chill, do your thing, and it's great that people are having access to that. I'm not saying it's you could pick the good sides of like social media and the bad sides. The good sides are like young people, different sorts of people, all people around the world getting access to information, getting in touch with each other, promoting themselves, promoting a product, promoting a business, some sort of a course, some sort of a service or good that they provide. But the downside of that, I guess, the negatives are we all are. It's probably not. I don't know if it's healthy or not. But all I know is that it's new and it's different. I don't know if it's better or worse. I just say it's. I think it's. I think there's it's how you treat it, how you use it. But to go back to that, I just saw this young lady just rip the bottom portion of her tongue and do a surgery so that it allows her to quote unquote kiss better or whatever. And yeah, man, I just saw that. I'm like, shit, again, I'm like, oh man, that must have hurt. Then I'm like, oh man, all those, I did something, I guess, similar, but way different, trying to, pursue bodybuilding to a certain degree, I guess, at a young age, and then getting like, oh, maybe whatever. I'm never gonna be like, oh, it was my own choice but it's just like, at the end of the day, it's, if you can, try to stay or like do things that are, because you can always snip, you can always cut, you can always paste, you can always, but the more time you give yourself, as I find, you get a little bit more comfortable and you find that, oh, you know what, this will become mine right here, this will become mine, maybe I had to grow into it, you know what I mean? And this kissing notion, if it's, I don't know how legit that is, dude. If it's like, but then again, I'm not inside. I I got my own tongue to experience, so I don't know what. Maybe somebody's got some sort of, I don't know the reasons, but try different. Before getting like surgery or like physical. Those should be like, for whatever reason, it should be probably like the last option. It shouldn't even be considered for a good portion until like, because everybody really grows till or like their mid-20s to varying degrees, give or take. So give yourself plenty of time before you go snipping and all that jazz. But then again, what do I know? If it's gonna fucking help you kiss better, enunciate better, or let's even move away from this tongue story right here, whatever it is, let's, if cutting it off and on, putting it, sticking extra ones on you, whatever it's, if it gets you whatever it is that you want to get, and if that's the path that you choose, so be it. I'm not here gonna be like, oh, don't go on your path, don't go cutting and paste, like do whatever you want to do, but give yourself a little bit of time. And I think there's a lot of pressure, it's just that comes with living in the modern world. So I'm just like, take it easy there, fellas, ladies. Let's all everybody just like chills, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it's Monday, baby. Because it's Monday. That's why. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it is, man, oh man, it is, yeah, it's exciting times. I don't know where this is gonna take us down the road, where we're gonna end up, but I do promise to, again, show up. And yeah, I'm gonna definitely be posting the videos as we're gonna be hitting the road as well. So stay tuned for those. It's gonna be, the ride's gonna be interesting. The ride's gonna be, it's unknown, it's mysterious. It is full of adventures to be had, nights to, go out there and evade danger, potential things that I'm just like, little by little, like starting to think about, are now coming into the forefront. Like, on a road trip. I haven't been on a road trip in a while, especially on a long one. That this one's going to be a long one. Things to consider: take toilet paper, extra socks, extra undies, beef jerky, water, recyclable plastic cups for drinking the water, some cutlery, and then also things that you don't want to get. Like I'm just like, you know, thinking out loud. Also like things to watch out for on the road, things to avoid, things to look for. I'll be looking at probably making a few stops along the way. I like to see a few things, wherever the road leads us to. But like truck stops, make sure you stop at a nice, safe truck spot, and make friends with all the nice men at the truck stops and all the nice ladies at the truck stops. Be sure to engage in activities with strange trucker men and women who may or may not be taking uppers so that they can get down on the road, or maybe they're taking downers so they can get up on the road. Ask for local glory holes to avoid. Ask for local hetero glory holes to visit, if there are any hetero glory holes. Are there? There should be, right? Should look into that. Other things, these are all the things you never know. If a bunch of truckers invite you to like hang out with them, do you hang out with them? Gotta assess the situation. Things to always keep on the back of the old noggin. Don't get raped on the road. You don't want to get raped on the road. Don't get raped on the road. I know not to get raped on the, that's good. Okay. Do not get murdered on the road. So that's, you know, luckily this is just a one-man operation for the time being. So I know there's not going to be like any, like, this isn't going to be like, you know, there's not going to be a lover who's going to be like, oh, I thought this was going to be sweet. And then like 2 days into it, like, oh, I miss my bed. You know what I mean? It's just like, whoa, way too much. So don't get raped, don't get murdered. These are the things that I need to, and then eventually once we'll get there, safe and sound, then we can start to really, you know, fucking start looking out for those same scenarios, but like in a new city. Don't get, you know, whatever, you know, it's just gonna, I'm excited, but also things to like look forward to, those are things to avoid. Some of the things to avoid, things to look forward to. Hey man, here's where you can find the old golden arches, and nothing brings me a sense of relief and just safety and comfort. I love McDonald's during travel. I love McDonald's, especially during traveling, whether it's in Canada, whether it's in other parts of the world. When you see the golden arches, it just means there is a, say what you will, but there is a certain sense of like, yes, this feels like we're gonna be, it's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's not gonna be like, this isn't gonna be something that like, but it's okay. And that's great. I love that. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being a part of my journey and letting me be a part of yours. It's going to be a bumpy ride. That's what we always said it's going to be. It's going to be a slow burn as per usual. We're just taking one teeny tiny baby step and putting it in front of the next and moving forward, hopefully growing, laughing together, and stretching our limbs and expanding our orifices, all of them, in all the different directions. Boys and girls, once again, where can you find these videos? Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Follow me on Instagram if you like. Subscribe on YouTube so you get the full length. Notifications are always there as well. That's the full length videos. And you get the notification. That's what I meant to say. Because if you don't get the notification, sometimes within the algorithms, and I'm not too aware what even, like, there's just so much. You might get lost, or it might get like, oh, you might notice this, but you might not notice that. So if you hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit it right now. Hit it like the way, you know, just like hit it right there, like you've been, it's the third day you've gone out with her, and like tonight's gonna be the night where you hit that subscribe button and help yourself hit it. You've been let's reverse that scenario, lady. You've had your eye on this fella that you've been, oh, he works at the local grocery store, and you've asked him out, and tonight's the night where you're gonna go hit it like that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you get the full length videos every week, and then check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you're the type that's just like sitting there and just licking your thumbs and your index and just licking and counting bills and using uh, guns for bills to also throw away dollar bills and shit, check out patreon.com/robsadria. If that's the type of fellow or lady that you are, if that's what you're into, that's what it's there for. I'll be back here again on Wednesday. Peace out, everybody.